Nobody inside the Trump administration had a worse week than Kristi Noem. It began at the beginning of this week, obviously, with rumors starting to fly that Kristi Noem was one of the people on the chopping block and that Donald Trump wanted her gone. Now, obviously, we'll see, but then things only got worse. 17 different people inside the administration and the Department of Homeland Security, which Noem is obviously the secretary of, 17 insiders spoke to Politico and confirmed that, yeah, there are rumors she's going to be fired. So she is actually trying to find a way to quit before she gets fired. One of those, like, you can't fire me, I quit moments. So Noem is looking, as they put it, for the off-ramp. Donald Trump is looking for a way to get rid of her. So sounds kind of like a win-win for everybody. Noem, if you're looking for a way to quit, just go up to Trump and be like, I'm out. Bye. There you go. Trust me, not that difficult to do. He's going to hate you for the rest of your existence, but still, the country might be better off with you not in that office. But here is what some of the insiders had to say. I'm hearing from people that she's about to leave. Another said, she's not doing this so she can get a cushy job on Fox News when she leaves. Her best shot is to get out on the campaign trail now, start lining up endorsements from governors, and then use that to negotiate a role in the next administration, Secretary of State, Vice President. So basically, they're saying maybe she's going to leave so she can start running for president. Another said, there's definitely some fishy stuff going on with money. Whether or not it's true, even just a rumor, optics are everything. Another said, her clashes with Tom Homan, borders are a problem. The rivalry, neither wanting to be subordinate to the other. Their insistence on independence and on being the one running the show, or at least the one perceived to be running the show. And then others suggested that Noem's desire to constantly be on TV, to be front and center, to hog the spotlight, was making Donald Trump unhappy because he's a guy that doesn't like to share the spotlight, right? That's not fun for her. But honestly, if that were the only bad thing that happened to her this week, I wouldn't even be talking about it because things went from bad to worse. She obviously got grilled well done during her hearings in Congress this week. But even before that, Judge James Boasberg finally said, you know what? I am moving forward with contempt proceedings against Kristi Noem. Kristi Noem, of course, as the leader of the Department of Homeland Security, refused to turn around the plane full of Venezuelan migrants earlier this year, or they weren't even from Venezuela, that's just where they were going to send them. Then, of course, she had refused to release Kilmar Abrego Garcia, who just Thursday, a judge said you have to release them right this second. So Noem could be hit with contempt charges very, very soon. But of course, that's going to come after she got hit with another lawsuit this week for indiscriminately using tear gas in areas populated by children in the city of Portland, Oregon. That lawsuit was actually filed on December 5th, and here's what the lawsuit says. They argue that for the past 6 months, federal agents have indiscriminately deployed tear gas, smoke grenades, pepper balls, and other chemical agents in mass volumes, with fumes that seep through windows and vents, accumulate in hallways and bedrooms, and bind to walls, carpets, clothing, furniture, and children's toys. They talk about the yellow gas clouds, persistent coughs, burning eyes and throats, dizziness, and headaches that the residents in that area are now suffering from. And that, of course, is one of the ICE facilities right there in Portland. Some deployments, it says, were not to address any real danger, but to put on a show for conservative influencers who had been invited by Kristi Noem to the ICE facility to film the protests for propaganda purposes. So they're saying she didn't even need to deploy the tear gas. She did it to put on a show for these right-wing influencers. It gets worse. The deployment of munitions is said to have left children at Gray's Landing living in fear, led some people living there to fall ill, and military veterans and domestic violence survivors living with PTSD said that each gassing serves as a new triggering event. The sudden loud explosions next to their apartments and plumes of gas and other chemical agents provoke horrifying PTSD reactions. Other residents have experienced extreme anxiety and panic attacks from the gases invading their homes. All of that against Kristi Noem in one really bad week. One really bad week that can only lead to the logical conclusion that Kristi Noem is finished. Hopefully. Thanks for watching, and if you are not already subscribed to the channel, please do so, and do not forget to like and comment and share widely among your friends.